All right, so we're gonna be recapping. Nope. Is it like a review?
We're just talking about Star Wars.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be discussing the sequel trilogy, Star Wars sequel trilogy, episodes 7 through 9, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and finally Rise of Skywalker.
Well, okay, let's just. How about we just like say like, because what about fucking Rogue One? We gotta talk about Rogue One. Or are we just talking about in the story aspect?
I mean, I'm okay with both. I thought we were just gonna do the story.
Okay.
But if you want to do Rogue One, we can.
Just disclaimer: Rogue One's like the best one. So.
Do you want to talk about it? I don't remember much of it. I just know it's good and that people hate it for I don't know what reasons.
You don't remember it, dude? It's like you gotta watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, I know that. I just know, like, again, I know it's good. I just don't know why people hate it. I haven't rewatched it in so long. So
people hate it because people hate good things.
Yeah.
Okay, as you were saying.
Okay, you want to restart or?
No. It's well. I mean, I was intending that to be a part of that. Be like,
oh, okay.
Are we gonna talk about it or not?
Okay, so again, disclaimer: Rogue One, good movie.
Rogue One is the best of the new generation of movies.
Good, it's a good movie. So we're gonna start with Force Awakens. Came out 2014, I think.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
15? Okay, sorry, around there, or 2015. Anyways, so I think we can all agree it was a good movie, right?
I liked it a lot. Well, a lot of people called it like a rehash of what do you call that movie?
New Hope.
New Hope. I didn't really see it. I thought like every time I watch The Force Awakens, it just gets me so excited. It's such an exciting movie. Just everything, all the cool things they do, and like all the things they set up. Like you seeing like Rey almost beat Kylo Ren in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I feel like she should have beat him, and he shouldn't have been a challenge in 8 and 9. But I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That movie is really good. That movie set a good precedent. People who hate it, shut the fuck up, you're dumb.
Well, I think it was a good way to ease into a new trilogy is to have similar aspects of A New Hope.
Yeah.
And like people love it, but then people hate when people try new things like The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
We're skipping a little bit, but people hate that movie too. So like, what do people want? You want something similar to the old ones, or you want something new? It's just people can't be happy. But I do think it was a good way to ease into the new trilogy.
And they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams wanted to have similar, like, story beats.
And people saying it's the same as New Hope. It's not.
It's not exactly the same, but it's
just
supposed to mirror it in some ways. Like, hey, we're gonna make Star Wars movies the way they were intended to be made.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the prequel trilogy.
God, no.
God, you'd have to try to make something that bad.
Dude,
I don't know how the fuck George Lucas did that. Like,
oh my god.
I don't know if it's the copious amounts of drugs he's probably done since the 70s, but like,
it was his ego, man. He had high ego.
I don't know what he thought was good about that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the
sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Also, I want to start off by saying that this trilogy could have been really, really good if they had planned out everything.
I like to say they really tried to capture the magic that the Marvel movies had, because they all had different directors. Like, someone who did, the guy who was originally doing Thor's, and then, whoever did Iron Man's and Captain America's, and that one was always switching.
But wasn't each director in charge of their own, like, series?
Yeah, but, like, I give credit, like, think about it. They had source material.
Mm-hmm.
It's like episode 7, 8, 9, since they fucking retconned all the extended universe shit. They kind of just went from whatever. So, like, I'm kind of like, I kind of give it a pass because, again, Marvel had fucking...
the same directors did Avengers, right?
I don't think...
The Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers did. They did Civil War...
Infinity War, Endgame.
Yeah, they did those three.
They started with Winter Soldier, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
Arguably all the best Marvel
movies. But also, again... they handled it so well. Whoever did, Iron Man's development through his 3 movies, and then Captain America's development, and then also having those characters show up in other people's movies and not handled by the same director.
Yeah.
But still, making a good story out of it. I think that's kind of what they were trying to capture.
Yeah,
when
but
they did, Star Wars. Because I think episode 9 was supposed to have a different director, but then they went back to JJ after Rian Johnson.
Just imagine like Infinity War being Russo brothers, Endgame being a different director, similar to Rian Johnson's. Like, fuck what he did. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and just completely ruin it.
Well, yeah, but I also think episode 7 to 8 isn't the scale of what Infinity War was, which I think they'd always planned on whoever had Infinity War having Endgame as well.
Well, I think what's important about Marvel is that they had it planned out. You know what I mean? Like they have to had it all planned out.
I would have imagined, like a series as big as Star Wars, you should like try to treat it with like
more respect.
Yeah, because the original, they had like such a huge impact on culture and movies, and I feel like they just didn't treat those movies, the sequels, the way they should have been treated. I mean,
there's no planning.
It's ridiculous that they had no plan between like the overarching story for each character for the entire thing. It's so weird.
I will say the best character for me was definitely Kylo Ren / Ben Solo.
Oh yeah.
I in episode 7, I think, again, like I say, episode 7 just showed so much potential. Like, and it almost makes me sad to watch that movie because like you see, like I think Kylo Ren could have been a real badass, especially if you think about how episode 7 ends when the fucking, I don't remember the name of the planet, but when the planet's blowing up, and General Hux goes and he tells Snoke, he says get Kylo Ren, we're gonna complete his training. Episode 8 should have been about him completing his training, as well as Rey doing whatever training she had with Luke. Like that would have been that should have been the story of episode 8, not the fucking train wreck that was episode 8 with the Finn and Rose going off to.
Canto Bight.
Yeah, going off to a planet.
Dude, remove that scene. I think the movie's fine to an extent, right? But so back to Force Awakens, but I do agree. So I did just Force Awakens again, like you said, set up so many things that Rian Johnson was just like, nah,
didn't care about.
Nah, he's like, nah, I'm in charge. I don't care about what you did. I don't care about setting up.
Dude, like killing off Snoke, like. Snoke could have been such a good character. Snoke was like he would have been such a good ultimate villain instead of J.J. Abrams having to bring back Palpatine
to explain it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
saying. I was growing Snokes. I got a guard.
I was growing Snokes.
Sounds like a fucking drug. Yeah, that's what that fucking trilogy was. It's just a fucking trip. But really that was like again, Snoke was like such a badass character. Like,
because we didn't know much of him. We just saw his hologram, and we were like, "Oh my, this guy."
I was like, "Is he really that big?"
Yeah.
Until the hologram. They showed it was a hologram of him, but still
unnecessary, but still menacing.
He was like, and then like whoever his voice actor was, like, just did the voice so well. It was again like they'll never recapture the magic of James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader. And like. But still, that was a really good voice actor, and like that, his whole character was really good, and for them to just like, sliced him in half.
Yeah, just like that. He's supposed to be so powerful. He connected Rey and Kylo, and then boom, he can't sense.
He couldn't sense the fucking lightsaber turning.
Well,
and even in that scene,
he did. I feel like he did sense. I know because he's saying, "I see what he's up to. He's turning his lightsaber to strike to his true enemy."
To complete his training.
But I'm pretty sure Kylo was also playing mind games with him. Yeah. He's like, this is what I'm doing. But he said it in like such a vague way that he's thinking about what he's actually doing.
I think about that. Yeah, I think about that more because it makes it better. Instead of him just dying and Snoke not knowing, it's good to me kind of be like, Snoke knew. That's how he turns Kylo to the dark side, by killing himself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think... I think even that scene could have been improved. Like, don't show the lightsaber turning. It's like then it's not a surprise. Yeah. Like if he just had Snoke do like a little like narrating that thing and like just kind of slowly zooming in on his face, and then all of a sudden just a face of pain, and you hear the lightsaber go out, and then like quickly cut out, and you see like the lightsaber in him or whatever. Like that would have been good. But instead it's just like, no, we get to see we're seeing it's happening. Okay.
The faces he makes when he dies are so dumb. I don't take it serious. Yeah.
Welcome to that whole movie when fucking. So that's the point where you stop taking it serious. Not when Leia fucking Superman flew back into the ship.
Okay.
When she's all of a sudden force sensitive and like it was like.
Listen.
Look. Oh man.
Force Awakens. We need to just quickly wrap. We all agree that movie's good, right?
That's a damn good movie. Like I said. Like, clearly Rey is very, very powerful, and she should have, either they should have received training in 8, like they fucking set up at the end of episode 7, or Kylo Ren should have just never been a problem for her again. Because again, clearly she held her own. And it's like I was talking to my mom about it the other night, but she's like, well, Kylo Ren's bleeding out, and to me, that's another thing. It's like, how come he bled? Like no one else bleeds in the series when they're shot by a blaster. The blaster like cauterizes a wound or whatever, and like that's why that's when people get wounds cut off, it's like so part of me is like I think that was kind of for the effect. So it's like that's maybe a like super minor gripe, but like past that, like
I think it's to show that he's weakened, so people don't get mad that Rey beat Kylo.
Yeah. Well,
but then there's also a shift because like he's winning, but then like when they're doing like the thing where they're holding lightsabers against each other, and then she overpowers him, and then she almost beats the shit out of him. I
don't think there was ever a point where he had the upper hand,
and he wasn't trying to kill her. Snoke told him to capture her.
He wants her. Yeah,
I think so.
He wanted her alive.
Oh yeah, because of her powers or whatever.
Yeah, she's strong.
So I guess that's how they tie. Back in 9, that's why they didn't kill her. That's why Snoke was like he wanted to capture her. But again, still.
But also, like, if you watch, like, I've noticed this every time you see Rey use a lightsaber, she doesn't fight. She attacks. She like wants to kill whoever she's
using. Like, that's something that I saw after episode 7 came out. People talking about that. That's something people really liked because like it was like traditional old is like fighting properly choreographed. This it's like they're just swinging to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
it's like I liked that. I thought that was cool. There's like Kylo Ren's lightsaber, how it's all frayed. It's not perfect.
Oh, I love his lightsaber, dude.
I love it. Every time I get the lightsabers in Fortnite, I always get Kylo
me
Ren's.
too. It's so awesome, dude.
All right, like 2 seconds. I'm gonna talk about this. Right? Okay. Fucking, I hate the lightsabers in Fortnite because the desync is just so frustrating. When like someone's swinging their lightsaber and they're 5 feet away from me and I'm taking damage. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And then I'm just dead. And I'm like, this is so dumb and bullshit. But fuck, lightsabers are cool in Star Wars. They're not cool in Fortnite. Fucking vault them. That's another podcast where we talk about.
It's Fortnite, our tradition to talk about Fortnite. Sorry,
Fortnite. So, yes, but
sorry I brought it up.
Kylo Ren's lightsaber is cool.
It's dope.
Yeah, dude.
Can you explain what happens in the shift between Kylo Ren and Rey? Because I was always confused at that point where he's like, where they're like that.
Right. I don't know if like. I don't know if I could ever properly define it, but to me, I feel like there's a change right there when she's like, like when they're like blocking each other and she's over the cliffside, and then she like kind of just overpowers him. I don't know if it's like her like really trying to embrace the Force or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then,
he says you're strong with the Force. I can train you. Oh, you're a teacher, and then she remembers the Force, the word, and then she kind of embraces it, like you said. She embraces what she's feeling, and that's what helps her overtake him.
When I first watched the movie, because I didn't know anything about Star Wars at that point, right? Mm-hmm. When I first watched the movie, he said something about him training her, and she stopped to think, and I was like, is she using the Force to see the training that he got before, and that's how she overpowered him? But I'm pretty sure that's not it. No, I don't that's what I initially thought, because when he saw into her mind, I guess, I don't know, he said something, oh, you've seen the map, we don't need the droid anymore. Yeah. So he takes her to the ship, and then he was going to look at the map with the Force? Is that what he was going to do?
This movie sets up that he can read people's minds.
He can read people's minds, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I made the connection, like, she just saw his training through the Force or whatever.
That's valid. Now that you bring that
up,
I
think, like,
the same way he saw the map through the Force. That's what I thought, because I didn't know anything about Star Wars. Yeah. So that's what I thought.
It's a good theory. That's a good thing this movie does. A lot of people theorize so much about this movie because it set up so much and left on so many questions just to be ruined. But continue with the lightsaber fight. You were saying the shift of
I feel like that really set up for Rey either to be really badass and like just completely overpower Kylo Ren and make him a non-issue in the next movies, or if they had received training like they were supposed to, then it would have been fine. But again, none of that happened because then episode 8 happens.
Okay, so here's one thing that I don't get. So episode Rise of Skywalker, spoilers, obviously. We find out that so when Kylo Ren meets Palpatine, that's the first time he realizes who Rey actually is. Because he's like, who is she? And then that's when he's smiling, and that's when he tells him, my granddaughter, right? We don't see that scene, him telling him, but then he tells Rey, you're a Palpatine, right? Mm-hmm. But remember in the first movie, when they escape from Jakku, it's Finn, BB-8, and Rey. And Kylo Ren's talking to one of the officers, and he's like, the droid escaped on a ship. And then, Kylo Ren destroys the thing with his lightsaber because he's mad. And then the guy's like, they were accompanied by a girl. And he gets, like, really upset. What girl? How does he know who she is? Because at that point... oh, my God.
That's the canon explanation. Yeah. He got triggered that a girl, like, ruined his plans. Oh, no.
No girl can be... But you know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't know who she is until Snoke says something.
Right.
But to me, it sounds like he already knew who she was. But according to Rise of Skywalker, he doesn't really know who she is. And according to Palpatine, or what Snoke told her, he just said, she's powerful, we need her, right? That's it. Mm-hmm. So how does he know already?
I don't know if it's... I think, like, in that moment, like, he's just more like, what girl? Because he doesn't know.
But you think it would worth that kind of reaction? Force choking someone so angry? It seems like he already knew her, and he wants to... you know what I mean?
I thought it was just a reaction to the entire message. Like we lost a droid.
Well, when he said that, that's when he started destroying the thing with his lightsaber, and then he stopped, and the guy's like, and they were accompanied by a girl, and that's when he does it. So he already had a reaction for the droid escaping. I mean, I could be like, I'm sure it was to set up to be something more. Again, it was destroyed by Rian Johnson, but I thought it was just interesting. It doesn't work anymore. Because he doesn't really know who she is.
I'm trying to think about it, because you do bring up a good point. Like, well, why does that matter that it's that girl?
But I know one of the theories was like, you know how Luke trained Kylo, that maybe Rey was there? Mm-hmm. And like to protect Rey, Luke put her away, which was a cool theory people had, but it would have made sense. Like maybe he does know her from training, and that's why he got so angry. But obviously, Rian Johnson destroyed that. He was like, no, she's nobody. Yeah. But again,
J.J. Abrams left a lot of loose ends, like in The Force Awakens. So
which would have been so cool if they planned it out. But
and again, it's like Rian Johnson's a good director. Like I think people say he directed, or he was like a part of one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones.
Okay, he's a good director, but not Star Wars director.
For some reason, he just really just shit the bed on Star Wars.
But yeah, I thought it was a cool, interesting little thing that I guess it's a plot hole now because of the whole different directors and stuff. But it would have been cool to maybe Kylo Ren. It would have made the kiss at Rise of Skywalker maybe a little more meaningful.
I don't think there's anything that could. Dude, did you see about the whole Twitter thing that John Boyega went on to do?
Yeah, dude, that was he was roasting.
Yeah, dude, I was like, God damn.
I was having
just so people, whenever this comes out, people will know this was the day after his Twitter incident where he went off on all the, he's like
the Raylo.
Yeah. Raylo. I was like, I mean, he's got a point though. Like, here they were, like, again, I won't go into too much detail because we'll talk about it later, but nothing was leading into that. There's absolutely nothing that was leading to that to me.
Again, just a little point before.
Yeah.
To me,
I don't see it in any way.
I mean, honestly, like, maybe, like, her ending up with Finn, honestly, it would have been fine if she ended up with anyone.
Yeah, I would have been okay too. Well, she didn't end up with anyone.
Well,
she's single.
Her man's died.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, she picks up the Skywalker surname, so, like, that was almost her brother, basically.
Stepbrother.
Whole weird stepbrother.
That was her cousin, bro. She went back to the fucking redneck planet of Tatooine, bro.
Oh my god. It all makes sense now. But not to get too much of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. I'll be okay with the kiss, just because when Palpatine was when he was trying to shock him, he realized how strong their bond is, and even like in The Last Jedi, they were strongly conflicted, and them both being conflicted with each other helped them become who they are. And I don't know how long between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker is, because I know between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, it's like boom right there. I don't know what you know what I mean? But I think it's okay just because they have a good Force bond, and I'm just trying to make it okay because it already happened. There's no going back from it. You know what I mean?
At all.
Okay,
that's like the thing that bothered me the most.
That was the kiss. It was a surprise. I was like, "There's no way they kiss, right?" And then
right when it was about to happen, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was hoping they went in for a hug or something, because a kiss.
All right,
it was so awkward.
Anything else from? Oh yeah, so a lot of people hate Force Awakens. We already said because of It's a New Hope, and also because Rey is too strong. Now, watching Rise of Skywalker, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
She's a Palpatine. She's always trying to, like I said, every time she uses a lightsaber, she's trying to, when she fights, she's trying to kill. She's not trying to like hurt. You know what I mean? She's really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
She lets anger flow within her. But I don't see why people hate the fight scene at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I mean, Force Awakens so much.
Yeah. I mean,
probably because she's a girl.
It's really, yeah. They also don't like that she's really good at being a pilot.
But Luke, but Luke was.
Whatever.
And Luke wasn't trained with the Force, and he was good.
But Luke was still a trained pilot. He was training to join the rebellion.
So the explanation for Rey being so good is that I forgot what she found. She found schematics for a lot of different types of ships, and she found training manuals for all the ships she found, and that's the book explanation on why she's so good at being a pilot.
I'm not mad. I think it's cool. I mean, look at the prequels when young Anakin was able to take down the whole space station or whatever on Naboo. He was a kid, boy. He did. What is it called? He was pod racing. He didn't know how to fly a ship.
It's like nothing. It's like no correlation.
Yeah, so I would excuse him. Like it didn't bother me at all. I was like, okay, the Force helps her. Cool.
I wasn't bothered by it either.
Yeah, I was like, pretty cool. I also like how, even in the first movie, we saw how Kylo Ren was like, he was tipsy. We knew he was the bad guy. He was on the dark side, but he didn't know because when he met Han Solo and unfortunately killed him. I was like, no.
That scene was so good.
I knew he was gonna kill him. I was hoping like, no, don't do it, please. That's your dad, But yeah, I thought it was cool how they already set up in the first movie that Kylo Ren was kind of on the ropes of being either dark side or light side.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of would have liked if, I was fine with Rey being a Palpatine. I kind of would have liked her to have been a Kenobi.
Oh, dude, that would have been so awesome,
so
awesome, so
that
good.
That would have been really cool.
But Ryan Johnson. So,
Well, I mean, she still could have been a Kenobi.
I think now watching the whole trilogy, it makes more sense because she's always so angry. And Last Jedi, when they first Force connect, she immediately pulls out her blaster and shoots him.
Oh yeah.
Like she has that anger and that dark side in her. It's just like how Kylo Ren says, it's in our nature.
I thought it was so funny when they Force connect for the first time. He's like worried about like, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Like, can you see my surroundings? And she tries to fucking blast him. He's trying to figure out like how everything works. Is like,
see, if the Last Jedi wasn't the way it was, absolutely could have been Kenobi. Because in the Force Awakens, it doesn't really show her that she's turning into like her dark side tendency. She's just really strong with the Force.
Mm-hmm.
But the Last Jedi shows more than that. And Rise of Skywalker, she's a Palpatine, and everything makes more sense. She's always so aggressive. Let's like anger take her over and stuff.
One thing I didn't realize, and I won't stay on this too long, but the Star Wars event in Fortnite. Mm-hmm. That I didn't realize that actually is.
It's canon.
Yeah.
What?
Because at the end of the event, Palpatine does an announcement about how the Empire is back, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the opening crawl is, a voice has been heard across the galaxy. Yeah. That's what they're referencing. They're referencing the Fortnite event. And I didn't realize that.
Fortnite's canon?
It's canon.
Dude, and people are grappling with that. Like, so is the Fortnite universe canon in Star Wars? Are we gonna, bro? How long till boys? after fucking after Kylo Ren dies, after Kylo Ren dies, fucking Rey just doesn't take the L on him.
Oh my.
She's gonna do the default dance.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't realize that's canon because I didn't even get to see the event because I think I was working that day. Yeah. And because I know they were showing a scene from the movie, I was like, I didn't want to see it. Yeah. Because like after I saw like the second trailer, I refused to watch any more trailers because I was like, I want to go into this as fresh as I can.
Yeah, fresh minded.
But then afterwards, when I saw that and I hear the thing and they're like, oh, this is what they're referencing in the opening crawl.
Fortnite.
I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, what if Rey, at the end of Rise of Skywalker, she just did the default dance.
After killing
she does the fucking the donkey laugh, whatever.
Oh my god,
dude, that would have been great, dude.
Okay, so anything else on Force Awakens? Again, pretty well received.
Really good. One of the best looking films.
Absolutely, so
good. It's the best of the sequel trilogy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with this.
The
movie.
best thing
Rogue One is
again.
still the best of the new movies, but
Yeah. But again, just, that movie was so good because it eased into the new trilogy with our favorite characters, and again, it was similar to New Hope, similar, not exactly like, and then it set up a lot of questions and left us on like a cliffhanger. And then now we're on to The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now, anybody want to start? Like, I don't even.
How
this
does
movie
it,
sucked.
it? Oh man.
I just don't understand. Like, Ryan Johnson they hired him, right?
Yes.
At some point,
That's
don't you
how it
think?
usually goes.
Well, okay. Don't you think at some point Disney would have been like, "Yo, this guy, he's." From what I've heard, J.J. Abrams planned out the entire trilogy, but then when Ryan Johnson came in, he was like, "I'm not using any of that." I'm like,
I think I remember hearing that.
What's the opening scene for The Force Awakens? Is it when
For
with
The Force
Poe?
Awakens, it's when
Poe gets the map?
Yeah.
All right, and then isn't the
See-
opening
see,
scene for The
again-
Last Jedi
It's
when Poe distracts the fleet by that stupid joke? It's like, I have a message for his mom.
Yeah. I'll hold.
Oh yeah. Dude, fucking that's to go back to The Force Awakens real quick. That was like that movie, that opening scene when they're on fucking Jakku.
Yeah.
That's so badass. Like, and he has the stormtroopers execute the people.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking cool.
It was so dark.
It set
Dude.
such a tone. I was like, this is gonna be so cool.
Or
And
when
then that
Kylo
didn't
stopped
happen.
that bullet and
Oh
just
my
froze
God.
it,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this guy.
Again, this was set up to be such a good trilogy. That's
Yeah.
why, like, I love Episode 7, but also watching it makes me sad because I'm like, none of this fleshed out to be as good.
Yeah, none of it really carries over. I
But
mean,
yeah.
also the humor in Force Awakens works really
Yeah.
well. Last Jedi humor, I don't think I laughed once.
I did not enjoy the humor at all.
It
like,
was so
it actually bothered me.
It was so bad.
I was so bothered by the humor in
It was so
The Last Jedi.
And I think like there's so many things that they do in The Last Jedi that are just kind of pointless. Like what does Finn and Rose's adventure serve besides their own growth? They don't succeed in anything.
They don't. That's what I'm saying. You take them out and nothing happens to the plot. Because Holden's, right? Her plan was to escape anyways.
Yeah.
So their storyline does not matter at all. Like, again, take it out and it doesn't affect the story. That's how you know you've written a bad character / section of the movie. If you take it out, it doesn't affect the story.
Yeah. It's like that just whole... There's so many things that are just seem kind of pointless. And also, like, the story takes place basically in one spot. It's just them kind of just they're just on cruise control through fucking space.
That's the dumbest premise ever. You're telling me Snoke ship can't just move a little closer to them?
Right?
Like, what?
Like, and yeah, just he has this giant fucking flying V. Like, you can't just show up and, like, just finish them.
Yeah, we want to destroy the resistance, but we'll let them die on their own.
Oh, shit, they're going fast.
Yeah. Oh, no.
They're going the speed limit. I can't keep up.
There's a cop behind us. And, dude, it was so stupid.
Yeah, dude,
like,
I just got a ticket. I don't want to get another one.
oh my, it was
It's
so
just
dumb.
General Hux's glove compartment has like a bunch of like street violations. It's like
Parking tickets.
Okay, speaking of that whole scene too, Holden's
Getting a
plan.
parking ticket?
No, Holden's plan is so stupid. Her plan itself is now. Her plan was just to escape on the transports, right? Being like unseen or something like that. But she has the conflict with Poe. Who Poe turned some of the resistance against Holden because Holden wouldn't tell him the plan. So, you know what I mean? It was just like unnecessary conflict. Like, just tell them, like, hey, we're gonna plan to get out. What's the worst that could happen if you tell a pilot,
Well,
hey, we're gonna escape?
But I think it's because Poe's instinct is he wants to fight. And, like,
Yeah.
that's why they
But-
were like, they didn't want to. I'm not saying it's good reasoning. I'm just saying that was kind of the reasoning for
Well,
it.
I can make sense with that, but she didn't tell a lot of people apparently. Because remember, there's a good portion that turned on her.
Right.
So it's like,
But also, I mean, you don't tell, like, the fucking janitors your plan.
yeah.
but everyone thinks they're gonna die. To me, it's like everyone thinks, well, we're dead here. They can track us through light speed. They're waiting for us to run out of fuel. We can't light speed. What are we gonna do? And the Holden's like, well, just wait. We'll be all right.
Yeah. I don't know.
From a real perspective, it makes sense. You don't tell your whole platoon your whole plan, right?
Yeah, 'cause-
but it's Star Wars, and there's not many of them left, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You also have to think about that. There's like double agents. You know what I'm saying?
but
I don't
again, it's
know.
like Star Wars. It's like, do you it's like, why hold out that information on us, the audience?
Right.
It just makes it even more stupid. Like, I hated Holden, and at the end, I was like, oh, she wasn't bad. She had a good plan, but Poe made her look bad.
And then there's that thing of like, once you know, next time you go watch the movie, you can be like, oh, but we already know her plan.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't because there's no like the whole surprise isn't there, so it's like it kind of ruins the rewatch experience.
But
dude, I watched that movie the first time the night it came out, I think, or maybe it was the next day. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. Went with my mom and my cousin to go see it. Those are the only 2 times I've watched it all the way through. The third time, me and my mom tried watching it. We got about halfway through, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah,
it's like it gets so slow and just so boring.
Unnecessary. Cancel bite. Oh god. I rewatched it. I skipped that scene. I was like, I was watching with my brother. Like, yo, we can skip this scene. Seriously, like, okay.
It's like I get the message. You just did a really bad job with it. It's just so slow.
The message isn't bad either, right?
But does it need to be
doesn't
Star
fit
Wars?
in the movie. It does. There's no.
The whole like war profiteering thing. It's like
animal abuse, child labor.
Yeah, I'm like
good things to talk about. But
yeah, these
Star Wars?
it's like these are things like
That's
yes,
like,
I am against these things, but like it just doesn't work in the movie.
It's
like it in the movie.
That should be like a spin-off thing.
Yeah, something else.
That'll be the next Christmas special.
Where they explore the gray area of how everyone can profit from both sides of the war.
Yeah.
You know.
Not Star Wars. Because it doesn't make sense to the plot at all.
I mean, they have visual dictionaries and other stuff.
Who thinks about the economy of Star Wars? Who's really like thinking
There's a
about
Death
Hey,
Star
Cinema
shit
Sins
like
thinks about the economy of Star Wars. They're really smart.
It's like it's dumb and like it's pointless.
Unnecessary.
And then I know I don't remember if you mentioned it on when we were recording it or not, but I didn't really like other people being force sensitive, like that everyone is force sensitive. I was just like the whole ending when like the kid just like casually like, oh, I forced over the broom.
It doesn't make sense now because
they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
that was my whole thing. Is like I thought that episode 9 was going to be like there's going to be all these people that are force sensitive showing up, and then they just kind of never did anything with it after episode 8. It's just like
I feel like that should have been introduced in episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the very end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The end of the Skywalker saga, right? Right after that, it's like, by the way, we're gonna explore the fact that maybe anyone can be force sensitive.
Well, doesn't Rian Johnson have his own trilogy now?
Does he?
I think he's gonna get his own trilogy.
I think he's getting the next trilogy. It's apparently supposed to be based off the Old Republic.
It's coming out 2022.
Really?
I believe, and then 2024, because you know how they're doing regular Star Wars spin-off, Star Wars spin-off. So the last one's 2026.
And well, I'll give another mention to the spin-off. Like, did you ever watch Solo?
Never got a chance to watch it.
I never watched Solo.
I never intended.
I never I got it. Like my cousin watched it. He's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, I just don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I don't know why it didn't look good. Like Donald Glover as fucking Lando looked really cool. Mm-hmm. But I just really never had any interest in watching it. I don't know why. I guess because like the guy who plays young Han Solo, I didn't really think he kind of looked it, but he really didn't also look it.
I think he didn't look like him at all.
I also think what made Han Solo so great is we didn't know his backstory. We just know he was a smuggler.
Yeah.
I really don't care to find out. That makes it more interesting. And yeah, you know. So no, I never watched them.
It's like I thought like the spinoffs were good. Like again. Rogue One, I thought Rogue One was really good. And then I think they were supposed to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi and like a Boba Fett one.
I think they're still doing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's getting a Disney Plus series. He's getting a Disney Plus series.
And it's Ewan McGregor.
Dude,
yeah.
Best actor from sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Best character. Trilogy. Oh, sorry. Best character from prequel trilogy.
Yeah. I completely don't mind him. And I saw they were talking about bringing someone to play a young Luke Skywalker, which I was like, that's cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah, we see a little bit of Luke before he, you know.
But like again, I thought I didn't mind any of these like the spinoffs they were doing. I wish they would have kept doing them. But I mean, fuck. I guess I'll have to see now that Disney Plus is a thing, so yeah, they can just do series.
But yeah, so I think Rian Johnson has his own trilogy.
Yeah, I think he gets he's getting like 10, 11, 12.
But yeah, I agree with you. If they would have introduced, more people are force sensitive at the end, not in the middle, which has, like, if you watch that movie, you watch the ending, you're like, this has nothing to do with Skywalker saga. Like, it's, like, I don't mind the idea of other people being force sensitive.
Yeah.
But this is the Skywalker saga. There's no room for that. You know what I mean?
And then, and that was another thing, You know how there was a whole thing in episode 9 about like, you know, oh, what was Finn gonna tell Rey?
Mm-hmm.
That it was like that.
It was just started as a joke.
That like that apparently that's what it is. And
which I like. I don't mind.
I don't mind. And if you think about it, it does kind of make sense because think of how he wielded a lightsaber in episode 7.
Yeah.
Like, and he held his ground a little bit against Kylo.
It's like he was like, again, him and Kylo were locked in a lightsaber thing, and the only advantage Kylo had was having the side hilts. The shoulder.
And then he got his ass shit on, but you know.
Yeah, because he did, you know, because Kylo's just like threw him, so whatever. But still, like, you know, that to me, that I'm fine with that. That makes sense.
What's gonna kill him?
But the whole fact that the only way we were able to find out about that is because I don't remember if it was JJ or John Boyega.
I think it was John
confirmed
Boyega.
it in an interview.
Yeah.
Or like the whole thing with Lando and that girl. I don't remember her name. At the end,
I heard that it was cut from the movie.
So they had a lot of reshoots of the movie.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff, like the scene where they're in the cave, there was a whole scene where I think they actually shot the serpent, and then she heals him. But a lot of the scenes were cut, like that scene and the scene you're about to talk about, how they think that's his daughter, right?
Well, in the visual dictionary, they confirm that's his daughter.
Yes, so there's a lot of
his long lost daughter, whatever.
There's a lot of stuff cut and reshot for the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, but again, that's something I don't think they even confirm in the movie. That's again, it's just in the visual.
It's just hinted.
But to me, it's like, why are you going to keep something so important out of the movie itself?
Yeah, I don't know.
But going back to episode 8, when I was just rewatching episode 8, I didn't, you know, I said I was going to rewatch it for the purpose. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
But like I was watching because they were showing it the other day, so I was watching the beginning part. The beginning wasn't bad. It was kind of, you know, I was like, the beginning's not bad. It's just that whole middle section, and then again once, you know, fucking when Kylo Ren bombs the ship and fucking Leia gets sent out into space. At that point, you know, obviously at that point Carrie Fisher had died. So I was like, I really expected them to kill.
Yeah, actually, I was like,
Leia in that
that's
movie.
it.
I thought that was it, and like I remember in the theater, I gasped. I'm like, I was like, holy shit, this is how they're doing it.
But
that would have been such a good way. That would have been so good right there. That would have been good for the Resistance. And then again, if you think about it, what does she really do in the rest of the movie? She doesn't really do much other than because she's healing.
She's dead.
Well,
she's in a coma.
Well, yeah, but no, but because she had already finished shooting episode 8. So, like, to me, like, if you think about what did she do in the rest of the movie that was that important? Because she's in a coma until, like, she wakes up and she's the one who tells Poe, like, you know, go with it.
Yeah.
Like, and past that, what does she do? And then she hands over leadership to Poe once Holdo dies, whatever.
Yeah.
She's acting general. Remember in Rise of Skywalker?
No, she passes off to him, the leadership to him in episode 8. Because in episode 8, because he's like, because remember there's that scene where like when they're trapped in the cave.
Oh yeah.
And the First Order is like there.
Why are you looking at me? Look at him.
Yeah.
Unnecessary joke, but yes. But in the Rise of Skywalker, he's acting general.
Well, after she dies.
Yeah.
But like to me, they could have let her float off into space and that been how she died. That would have been completely fine. That would have been such a good send off.
Okay. Sorry.
What?
No, I was saying if she had died there, who would have redeemed Kylo Ren in Rise of Skywalker?
I mean, but then that gets to the point of Rise of Skywalker where it was kind of, like I don't like how they used her in Rise of Skywalker either.
She was fairly underused, but she brought her son back to the light side, which I think was important. But who else would have done it? It wouldn't have been Ben or
well, but again,
Han Solo.
if they had killed her off, I would have hoped that they would have taken the story a different way.
Maybe, yeah.
And then also, like, what's this shit about that? And again, I don't want to completely get away from episode 8, but what's this shit that Han Solo gets a fucking Force Ghost?
He's a memory.
Force sensitive.
He's a memory.
Is he?
Yeah, he says it.
Because it plays out the same way it plays out. Their dialogue plays out the same way it plays out in the first movie.
I didn't think it played out completely the same.
Well, not exactly the same.
It's just the line, like, I don't know if I have the strength. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Because that was the turning point in Force Awakens when he kills them.
Yeah.
And this is what he turns.
But it was like him replaying a version of what it could have been. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfect explanation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, again, I've only seen the movie once, so I don't completely remember how that scene plays out. I just thought it was weird that he got to show up.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
I was surprised when he showed up. I completely didn't expect.
I thought it was going to be Luke when.
Dude, me too. It sounded like Luke,
right?
Yeah. It makes more sense that Han, honestly, because it's his dad and he killed him.
Yeah.
And they've talked about how he's been conflicted ever since he killed his father.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense. But I thought it was Luke. I was like, Luke. And then Han was like, oh, that's even better. Sure, whatever. I was like, okay. But yeah, he says that he's like, you're just a memory. And then Han Solo's like, your memory. And I was like, okay, cool. Because a lot of people are like, is he a Force ghost? Like, no, he's a memory.
He's a memory.
He's not
memory
really there.
ghost.
That's why when he turns around, throws a lightsaber, he turns back around, he's not there. Boom. Oh, okay, but Last Jedi, we still have I have a lot of shit to say about that movie.
What about the Luke throwing the lightsaber?
Oh my god, dude!
I understand what they were going for, but
it was played as a joke. A serious moment played as a joke.
That's not what it looked like was gonna happen in The Force Awakens at the end.
It looked so serious, like he was gonna do something, and then just yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean, I think fucking Mark Hamill has talked about it too. Like,
oh, he hated the way
he didn't like the way that they did Luke.
It would have been more impactful if he refused to get the lightsaber at all.
Yeah, not just me. That's his father's lightsaber, and the lightsaber he used to train a little bit. Yeah. And you're telling me he's just gonna whatever. Nah, whatever.
Doesn't Luke have 2 lightsabers?
Yes, he has a green one, right?
Yeah, it's the one he made between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like his main one that every action figure has.
Yeah.
The green one. But the blue one, yeah. Dude, that made me so mad. Again, that set up the whole... That told me the tone of the movie was just... Oh my god, it pissed me off. How are you going to treat such an important moment like a joke, dude? And nobody laughed. Nobody.
Everyone was more confused.
Yeah, they're like...
Rather than humored by the fact that he just threw the lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then they go on to show a montage of him like living his life, getting the milk from the big
milk
old
thing was so fucking weird, dude.
Fishing with this giant stick. I'm like, dude.
And it was, there's no payoff for that. The payoff for it is, I've seen your routine. You're not busy. Yeah. That's it.
Right, that was pretty funny, but still,
there's no payoff for that. Like
no
sequence.
No reason for that to be.
The fucking milk thing. I remember seeing that in theaters. I'm like, this is what the fuck. That's the point when I really started asking myself, what the fuck is going on?
I was like, I understand like the concept of world building, like.
But look at how other
green tea milk.
But if you see how all the other movies do it, this just looks so stupid,
it's like
man.
The world building in other movies makes me want to live.
Yeah, because it's just in the background. You don't know too much about it, but here
and
it's
then
like
seeing green titty milk. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to live there. I want to.
And the freaking dragon or whatever is like, he's getting off to it. He like looks at Rey like, "What's up?" You remember that? That's so weird. I was like, "What is this?" Oh my god, it's so weird.
I've seen your routine. You're not busy. Why aren't you training me?
So you said you didn't like Leia having Force abilities, right?
I mean, no, it's not even that. I just don't like. She just fucking all of a sudden she just Superman flew back in. She fucking looks like Superman flying back into the ship.
She's force pulling herself.
That scene just.
She's force pulling herself.
That scene to me was just so dumb.
I think it was only dumb because it just looked really ridiculous.
It just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't.
Like who the fuck in what Jedi or Force sensitive person has fucking flown through space? She was fucking Captain Marvel. Bro.
When we think about it, she's pulling
herself.
Pulling herself.
Just dumb.
Also, when they opened the door to get her, they would have all died.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
They explain that she force opens the door and then force closes it and then.
She like does
There's
a,
like
she does a
doors.
bubble. She does like a bubble, right?
Puts her bag away, everything.
She does a force bubble. I think is what I've heard as well.
I don't know,
but not explained in the movie, so
I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
That didn't really bother me. I was just like, whatever.
I was actually happy to see her embrace it because we know she's Vader's daughter, so we finally get to see her with force powers as well, not only just Luke.
And you only get hints of it in the original trilogy, right?
She doesn't use her force powers at all. We just know she's force sensitive. Right?
Yeah, but she can like sense things, like when Luke is like.
Well, that's what I mean. She's force sensitive.
When they save him after he gets his hand cut off and all that shit.
Yeah. But she doesn't use the powers. Her powers in Return of the Jedi. She's just the father of Vader, or daughter of Vader, which is really cool in Rise of Skywalker. Seeing her, that scene where she's training with Luke.
Yeah.
And she kicked Luke's ass. Oh, damn.
Oh, and then I was gonna save that for later.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean.
Okay, let's save it for later then. Back to Last Jedi.
Okay, so. Besides the lightsaber thing, I did like Luke Skywalker's arc in the movie.
I did too. It wasn't too bad. I really did like the whole
because he realizes how like not good the Jedi actually are. he says their legacy is failure. They let
Palpatine
rise to power
at their height of their power, something like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I also liked the scene where I don't know if you guys liked the scene where he was gonna kill Kylo Ren.
Oh yeah, I liked it.
The ending?
No. With the flashback.
When they were training.
Yeah.
Like, you get like two different versions of three.
Well,
three
Kylo Ren has his version.
He has the version where he lies to Rey, and then he has the third version where he explains what actually happened.
I always thought it was the right version because from Kylo Ren's perspective, he just wakes up to his master with a lightsaber over him, and like, yo, what the fuck?
Because well, I thought he initially told Rey that.
Oh, probably
that he just burned down the Jedi temple,
and then he said, yeah. But I do like that scene. Not only one, because it shows Luke kind of embracing Vader a little bit, you know, because you know how Return of the Jedi, he almost falls to the dark side. You know, he instinctively wants to kill Kylo, but then, like he said, he instantly regrets it, and then Kylo Ren wakes up, and then that's when he. I really like this little nitpick, but when Kylo Ren grabs the lightsaber, Luke yells no because he knows at that point Kylo Ren's lost to the dark side. Yeah. It's a nice little touch that I noticed.
Do you want to know some small gripe that I really kind of have?
With what?
With the sequel trilogy. This is going to be such a dumb... It's a very small thing. It's a very kind of dumb thing. Mm-hmm. But it actually does kind of serve some purpose. Think about Luke in 4, 5, and 6. Think about how his outfits change. In episode 4, he's kind of scraggly clothes. In episode 5, he's kind of... Yeah. In episode 6, he's wearing all black. Mm-hmm. If you think about Rey's outfit, her outfit almost never changes. And to me, I can like
that's has part of gray.
It's kind of gray, but then like again, it just basically looks like her outfit from Jakku. Like nothing really changes. To me, like that's again, that's a small thing, but that's part of that's a subtle thing where you're supposed to show growth. Mm-hmm. You know, in the way that in her maturity and stuff. But that to me, nothing like that ever happened. And I just thought that was kind of weird.
I never really thought about it. I didn't pay attention. I was like, whatever.
I didn't notice that her outfit was gray.
Yeah,
for the
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Yeah. Which I think helped build more of the idea that she could turn to the dark side. But
yeah, and I thought it was going to be like a huge deal after they were done fighting in the throne room. Mm-hmm. That it was going to be like who's going to turn to what side and for what reasons are they going to convince the other person. But that didn't happen in that movie.
See, that's why I like. There's some
That's why I really enjoyed The Last Jedi, because at the end, I really thought it was going to be more like, who's going to convince the other person
to
join their side.
See, that's the one thing I liked about it. You didn't know who was going to be. Kylo Ren was already conflicted. Rey's definitely now conflicted.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both like messing with each other. They're both lonely. They need each other. So you didn't know who was actually going to be on what side. I mean, it's movies, so you know what's going to happen. But it was still fun with the idea.
I feel like some of the mystery was a little like shot down because like once they kill Snoke, well then Kylo Ren became the supreme leader. And it's like maybe General Hux could have become that, but then in episode 9, he's their inside source. Mm-hmm. Then he gets killed. And so it was kind of like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you knew it was going to happen. It's a movie. They have to do that. But it was still fun with the idea of like, oh shit.
But again, going back to episode 7, they really left it up that they could have. I thought it would have been cool if like they got really close and then like they just split paths, just giant split path, and really committed to their side. I think that would have been kind of cool.
So you didn't like Kylo Ren?
Either that or like having Kylo Ren become good, and then episode 9 being again assuming Snoke would have lived through 8. 9 like being the two of them fighting. No, the two of them fighting against Snoke and like his powers. I think that would have been cool. But again, they kill Snoke in the middle of 8, and so that's kind of he was the kind of big bad guy. He was the Palpatine of this story,
of this trilogy.
And then they kind of just slice him in half like he's fucking butter.
Yeah,
it's because he was fucking grown in a fucking incubating tube.
But it turns out Palpatine was the Palpatine of this story the whole time.
Yeah.
And see, that's one thing. Like an issue with 9 to me is like. Well, okay. Let's finish with 8 first.
Okay.
We've already talked about that middle scene. I like the final sequence. When they're captured, and then Holo does the fucking jump to light speed and cuts through Snoke's ship. I think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool scene, even though it may break, laws and rules of the series. That's a really badass scene. I do not care what it.
Hands down, my favorite moment in that movie.
That's just it's just so cool.
It helps when you don't care about the rules. Like I didn't care. I didn't know about the rules. I was like, yo, this seems badass.
Yeah, even once I found out that it was like a rule break, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, that's so cool.
It was just such a nice scene.
And like that final fight sequence.
With Kylo and Luke.
Yeah, well, even before that, when they're flying the speeders, honestly, I remember in the moment when they're flying the speeders at the fucking First Order shit. I really thought Finn was gonna kill himself.
Oh my!
Which would have been good.
That would have been so good. And look, I don't have an issue with Rose's character in any way. It did feel kind of out of nowhere.
The kiss?
Well, no, just her whole story in general. It felt kind of like, okay, her and Finn just got stuck to the wayside, going on some adventures,
fall in love.
And then for her, it's like, I think I saw the stat like she got like 4 or 5 minutes out of screen time in episode 9.
Yeah.
Which again is just like
that is so bad.
It's fucked up. But
yeah, what Ryan Johnson did, he made her character really bad.
Yeah, just pulled her out of nowhere again. And at that point, she was basically just a janitor. Yeah. She was basically, back to my janitor analogy, she was basically a janitor. It's like.
So was Finn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like again, it was just
2 janitors going on an adventure.
Oh, that's deep,
talking
man.
Talking about their cleaning supplies, bro.
It's deep.
Like I didn't the whole, I saved you, dummy. At the end, it's like,
kiss me.
I was like,
Okay, so another.
I like. I like the message. Too, right? It's like we win wars by protecting whatever, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad message, but it just comes out of nowhere. There's like no.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in with. I don't think it fits in anywhere. It would have been really, really tragic if Finn became a hero at that moment, and he never got to see Rey because he wanted to look for Rey, and at some point he was gonna use the escape pod to go look for her.
That's
right?
how he meets Rose.
Yeah.
She was protecting it.
I saved you, dummy.
Yeah.
I just again that would have been so cool right there.
Me and Finn had the same reaction. He was so confused.
Yeah, the way he reacted was like, what the fuck?
And
this scene was improvised. He was actually gonna kill himself.
Oh, dude, that's funny.
I don't remember. It's like Kylo Ren now. Once he's Supreme Leader, he tells them to fire. He tells the fleet to fire, and then General Hux, is like doubting him, and he uses the Force and throws him or whatever, or throws him shoves him to the wayside. That was a funny moment. I was like, that was all right.
Yeah.
But then once you realize why the red salt is red, honestly, that was kind of cool. That was really cool. When they're blasting at Luke and it's all this red going up, it looks like they're just blowing him up, so it looks like blood. To me, I was like that was a kind of cool visual thing. I get why they did it that way to make it look that way, but also I'm like, I don't even really care. That's really cool. But then it gets to the whole fucking Luke doing a back thing.
It looks so cool. I
was
cool.
I thought it was a little. I was like,
I was not bothered by that. I actually enjoyed that.
It looked cool. Right? It was different.
He
from what
did
we see.
a back thing, and then he did a little.
Yeah, dude, that part I love watching that.
The little slide
it's
was
so satisfying, dude.
I was like, what?
Because we've never seen that before. But
he got that from Yoda.
Oh what?
Listen, Yoda, when he fights Count Dooku, he's flipping around everywhere.
Yeah, that's just insane. I don't know how he knows that.
Well, dude, okay, backtrack a little bit. The fucking puppet looks so disgusting of Yoda. Yoda's puppet in episode 8 looks terrible.
What?
No, I didn't mind it.
I liked it.
It looks terrible.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
Yes,
look.
it does. I literally saw a clip of it yesterday.
It doesn't look that bad.
Really doesn't look good. However, it's lighted or whatever. It just doesn't look good.
And
when he's a Force ghost in episode.
Because we've never seen him as a Force ghost.
Yeah, you do in episode 6.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Because he dies.
Do you? I know you see Obi-Wan and
Anakin.
Oh, is it the end of Return of the Jedi?
It's somewhere because he dies. He dies at the in the beginning, and I think you see him at least once as a Force ghost. Regardless, I just don't think the puppet looks good in episode 8.
I think it looks fine.
It didn't bother me when I saw it. I was like, Yoda. I wasn't like, this doesn't look right.
Well, and that was one thing I was gonna say. It's I couldn't help but kind of think think about the movies a lot when I'm watching them. So when Luke shows up and he's got the short hair, I'm like, oh well, you can tell that this isn't really him.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a kind of obvious giveaway. But like I mean, again, I like that whole end sequence. The end sequence is good. I don't mind the fight.
I thought it was. Yeah, I don't mind it. It could have been more, but I thought it was perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. I'm kind of like, I'm not. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just like it's okay. Yeah. It wasn't really a fight. It was more like,
well, yeah,
like a tease or something.
Stalling.
Yeah. But I will say I didn't like how, again, Finn's character was treated. He kind of, so his arc in the first movie was he ran away. He was running, and he was gonna run away when they were at not Cantobite, at Maz's place.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna go to the Outer Rims, but he stays, and that's who he becomes. That's his arc. First, he just wants to run, and now he's embracing what he's becoming. You know what I mean? So he's staying with the Resistance, helping Rey, helping Han. That kind of all goes to waste in the next movie. It's like you set up this character's arc, and then it's just like, let's forget about how his character developed. Let's redevelop him again. The same thing with Poe. Like in the first movie, he's like this really well-respected pilot. He listens, and all of a sudden, he's like, "I don't care what you're saying, Leia. We have to destroy this dreadnought."
Yeah.
And destroy half of our fleet just because I don't know, it look cool on my resume. It's just like, really, like what?
The resume.
After the rebellion's over and I have to get a new job.
Yeah, like I'm like, dude, their characters regress. You know what I mean? It's like it's so stupid, but
it's like they set up a different arc for each character,
a deeper arc
in each movie.
Yeah,
but there's no overarching like story for them.
It's the same arc. Because at the end of the movie, Poe's like, you know how he's taking all the speeders, like, no, let's back down. That's the opposite of the beginning of the movie, and Finn's the opposite, where he's gonna suicide. It's the same thing we saw in freaking Force Awakens. But again, yes, I'd say the final third movie I always love watching. Like the throne scene, even though it has bad choreography, I still like it because it's Rey and Rey and Kylo Ren teaming up together to fight.
That was good. I mean, I still don't hate the choreography.
When you
someone broke it down, like every part of it, and I'm like, I don't care. It's like
when I first watched it, I was like, yo, let's go. I wasn't caring, like, yo, that guy is a little late
she
or something.
3 people with what? She force kicked him, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Whatever.
On, it's Star Wars. You have an explanation for everything. But yeah, when you actually break it down, I'm like, yo, that's kind of bad.
Like, I was like, whatever. And then I watched the scene again. I'm like, yeah, I don't hate it.
If you don't pay attention, you just like, whoa. And it comes down to, I've watched like a lot of like in-depth videos, but I think it has to do with what's her name, Daisy Ridley, not probably being like really good at choreography. Like if you look at all the characters, they're doing all these spinny moves and like kind of holding off, waiting for her to do her next action instead of like immediately going to it. That's why they kind of like, or do something kind of stupid to wait for her because maybe she missed her cue or something, which is really interesting on a perspective of looking at choreography.
I've never paid any attention to any of that, so I never noticed any of that.
It's also weird that the guards just decided to attack Kylo. Like I was assuming that they would just be like
new leader,
right? Like but they were like super loyal to Snoke, I guess.
Yeah. For why? I don't know.
Oh, he's dead already. There's nothing
to be fucking But yes. If you see some fight scenes, like if you pay attention, some of like the backgrounds, the guys that get hit, they kind of like
they just wait.
Yeah, because if it's not a stunt double and if it's actually the actor, they're probably not up to par. So it's kind of cool. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos on movies. But yeah, final third really really good. Although the ending scene, everyone's really happy.
Oh yeah.
Half of their fleet is gone. Luke just died.
There's like 30 people left.
But hey, we're
just
happy.
on the Millennium Falcon. Like,
we won.
This is all we got. No one replied to our call for help. This is all we got.
Yes. I'm like, what kind of...
Dude, all right, we got to go to episode 9, because speaking of the call for help shit, the whole call for help when, like, it's such a cheesy thing.
It's so endgame.
Like
it's endgame.
Well,
on
even
your left.
past that, when they're, because, the Rebel fleet is like, oh, we're losing. Oh, where's Lando at? Oh, and it's like, oh, Lando shows up just in time, just in the nick of time.
Captain America. When he's gonna fight the whole...
I wasn't even thinking about that, but I was watching with friends, and one of my friends was like, they think they're Avengers Endgame.
Well, even like when Palpatine, he's like, I'm all the Sith, and Rey's like, I'm all the Jedi. I am inedible. I am Iron Man.
Oh yeah. I am the Jedi. That's exactly. That's
Yeah.
what, when she says I am. I was like, oh, she's gonna say I am Iron Man.
I am Iron
Like,
Man.
this is fucking Endgame, bro.
Well, that
Um,
would've exploded.
So let's talk about the Rise of Skywalker.
Start off what do you feel about the movie? I personally love it. I absolutely love it.
I was like so happy throughout the whole movie.
Absolutely. There's some things.
The opening scene with Kylo going to Palpatine, that is like the best looking like scene I've like in any movie.
Yeah, when the pretext was like the flashes, like if you're prone to seizures or whatever, I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then
that didn't happen in my theater. Someone no, it didn't.
Yeah, they showed
Yeah,
they showed
what?
a
Wait,
pre-roll
they
before
showed-
the movie
You know
starts.
what? I showed up right when the
they're supposed to.
Yeah,
they show
a
screen.
thing about
Oh.
seizures because of the lightning and all that.
Dude,
shit.
that was the
Yeah.
best looking planet / freaking
Yeah, dude,
set
so,
or
okay.
whatever.
The whole sequence with Kylo at the beginning is just like it's
Yeah,
it's so
like,
perfectly shot and like it looks so beautiful.
That's Mustafar, by the way, the planet he's on.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They confirmed it, right?
Yep. There's a reason why it's all white, but it's Mustafar.
So, I think I've only seen the movie once. I think it's all right. Yeah, the fucking George over here 4 times.
I really love it.
I think it's all right. I want to see it again. I really thought the Final Order shit. I thought that was badass. Like the
Dude.
Final Order. Like when he said the Final Order, I'm like, that's cool. I'm like,
It's
I don't
good they
know
didn't
why.
redo another Death Star or anything like that. They did something different. But
Yeah.
dude, when they all
I mean,
rose,
but
Oh.
some people were like, how convenient. It's like how convenient he's been. But again, like I said, I give a lot of they had to retcon a lot of stuff. It's like, and it's like I like to say like the whole I feel like this Palpatine thing should have been flushed out over at least 2 movies, if not the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Her being his granddaughter. But also like it's like someone brought up the point. It's like, well, if these are Empire ships, how do they have these weapons that are able to destroy these things?
Death Star
that-
weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Death Star tier weapons. It's like how the fuck did they do that? I thought Palpatine was really fucking cool when his whole partially decomposed
Ooh,
body.
yeah.
I was
Some
like-
people
I
said
was
he
like,
looked
that was-
ugly. Like people didn't like the way he looked. I was like, he looks perfect to what happened.
He's always looked like shit.
Yeah.
Well, he looks worse in this one because he died.
Well, even when he comes back to life, he gets their energy. I thought that was kind of cool.
He looks.
Dude,
badass.
I really thought when they
rope?
do the
Yeah,
arena,
the red accent on the rope.
I thought when they did the arena, I was really kind of hoping they'd show some old Sith, like show like Darth Maul or like Count Dooku or like kind of
Like
dead
in Force
versions
Ghost?
of them.
Oh, dead versions.
Like like skeletal versions of them. I'm like that would have been fucking badass. I thought that's what they were gonna do.
See, that would have been like a. What's the word?
Fan service.
Fan service. A lot of people have problems with the fan service in this movie.
I
I don't get.
I know.
I don't understand it.
I thought that when it would have made sense because he's talking about all the Sith. That would have been
Yeah.
part of all the Sith. That would have been so cool.
Did you see, dude?
Darth
I'm
Plagueis
getting
the
goosebumps
Wise.
talking about this movie. I get goosebumps watching that movie all the time, dude. Like I love it. I really do. I'm sorry, but
I like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So how does the movie start? I don't remember how it starts. Oh, it
It
starts
starts
with that.
Kylo Ren, yeah, and then it goes to Finn and Poe getting the message from the spy or the double agent, whatever,
Yeah.
from the First Order, and then
Ray training a little bit.
Ray training,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, can we talk about the light speed skipping? I just thought it was funny how J.J. Abrams retcons Holdo's maneuver, right? And he retconned it specifically because everyone got mad because
Yeah.
it broke the lore. But then he goes and
Lights.
he introduces light speed skipping, and it like
Has that
apparently
never been seen?
no, and apparently that shatters the lore too. So like, good job, I guess, for retconning Holdo's maneuver, but also breaking the lore yourself.
I mean, it looked cool, right?
I mean, I didn't have a problem with either light speed skipping or Holdo's
Yeah.
maneuver.
It's just the people that are really into the lore.
It's just really funny that he
Yeah.
he retconned something
Yeah.
because it broke the lore,
But
and he
still
just
did.
did that again himself.
Like, fuck y'all. Do it anyways. But yeah, Ray training. Well, I love that Leia's training Ray, which I think is cool because I always love the idea of Leia having force powers.
You've seen this movie 4 times. Is it really implied that Leia was training Rey the whole time, like between the entire sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
It is
It's
implied.
it's implied
implied.
between episodes 8 and 9 that's what was happening. That she was completing her training. Or
Now
that
only
Leia
between
was-
8 and 9.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because-
That's
because
because
between
someone-
7 and 8 she's with Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But 8 and 9, she finishes her training. I think they mention it in the movie.
I don't think she finishes it.
Well, like she continues
gets training. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's mentioned at some point in the movie that was receiving training from Leia.
Yeah.
And she calls her master.
Well, no, that's what we're saying. But how long? Is that what you're asking? How long? Or
I'm guessing, yeah, because I was watching a lot of videos about this movie, but yeah.
Yeah, even Luke says like, yeah, she trained you when she knew you were Palpatine because she knew you had a good spirit. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you have the scene of Rey training, and then they go to that the planet. Yeah. The desert planet. I don't know the name of it.
Oh yeah. I don't remember the name, but I remember.
Bro, the little babies. I thought they were cute.
I thought they were ugly. I was like, if these babies look at me, I'll be horrified.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh, dude, when they made it seem like Chewbacca died.
Oh my god!
I believed it.
I was so shook. Fuck. I mean, but then. I was thinking there were 2 ships,
2 transports.
Right? But I was like, everyone reacted like Chewie died,
Chewie
and I'm
died.
like, oh my gosh, she just killed Chewie.
Yo, what the?
But also her using like the Force lightning shit. I was like, yo.
That scene was so good because first of all, you're already shook, right? That she Force lightning it. I'm like, what? And then fucking Chewie died. Or died allegedly.
Yeah.
The first time I watched the movie, the entire time I was just like, "What?" I was so like shook, dude. It was so good. Well, I love every scene when Rey and Kylo they're doing like that Force connection, and like they're fighting, and like Kylo's environments spill into Rey's environments.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I really liked that. I don't know. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was fucking awesome.
I really liked it. Yeah.
Like when he grabs a necklace from her, and like, I know where you are. And then like Kylo Ren knows he's in her ship because of the Darth Vader mask falls.
Or so like good.
they shatter it. Oh
yeah. But like cool when in the final fucking fight sequence, when they're at Palpatine and behind the back and he pulls it out from behind his back.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was like,
dude, I was like,
that part was so cool.
Even when they teamed up and they both had lightsabers like that, I was like, yes, dude. I was like, I'm going off.
I kind of wish they'd done more with the Knights of Ren, other than to have him be like
Rian Johnson.
His like other than being like his like side men.
Rian Johnson.
You know, the whole time I thought the Knights of Ren were the Jedi that Kylo Ren took with him.
Yeah, that's what I.
But it wasn't.
They're not it. The Knights of Ren are. I read the Wikipedia page or whatever. But they served a guy named Ren, and he was also like Force sensitive, I think. I think. But it was like in the comics or something.
Oh, okay.
So there's a guy named Ren, and they're named the Knights of Ren because they served Ren, not because of Kylo Ren.
Okay.
But I the whole time I thought they were Force sensitive because I thought they were the Jedi that Kylo Ren took with him.
It makes sense because they would have had lightsabers, right? I guess if they were Force sensitive. They look cool as fuck. Though.
Oh fuck yeah!
When they're walking together and like, dude, I'm like, when the stormtroopers like the Knights of Ren. I was like, yeah. I just hated Rian Johnson set up the Knights of Ren. Or no, J.J. Abrams in Force Awakens set up the Knights of Ren. Rian Johnson did not use them at all.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams did what people wanted, was use the Knights of Ren, but how much could he have used them, though, really?
Yeah.
The Knights of Ren were teased in the Force Awakens, right? Because they
mentioned the Knights of
Ren. Yeah, that's what I meant. Snoke is like, Kylo Ren.
The Knights of Ren.
The leader, the overseer of the Knights of Ren or some shit. I'm like, the Knights of Ren?
I'm like, who did?
Who did?
Dude, it'd be so cool if we got all of us to dress up as, like,
the Knights of Ren. Oh, bro.
Because all their helmets look cool and their weapons and the way... I don't know. And
but they ain't shit, though.
They lose to Kylo Ren like nothing. I did like that fight scene when he's, like, just force pushes someone and then he gets his ass handed to him. Until he gets the lightsaber. But, so, they go to that planet to look for the
person who knows where to find the other
the Sith
thingy.
Finder?
Sith Finder.
Is that what it's
Well, no,
called?
they're looking for a clue to the Sith Finder.
The Sith
clue
dagger.
Yeah.
Sith dagger, there you go.
But
all right, the way they treated C-3PO in this movie.
you know,
dude, C-3PO, like...
C-3PO was the highlight of, like, the comedy, because it was so good.
When they get down in the cave, you didn't say my name, sir, but I'm alright.
Yeah. that was I didn't mind that. But, like, what did annoy me is, like, in the trailers, I'm taking one last look at my friends. Why didn't he die? He should have died. It's like, his memory's gone. It's like, okay, It's like, oh, it sees R2. Oh, R2 had a backup. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like I almost kind of would have been okay with him dying.
I was really sad when he said Babu Frick was like his oldest friend.
You
I was
just
like,
met them there.
I was like, what? No. C-3PO, that's not your oldest friend.
Or when Poe was yelling at him and C-3PO was like, why are you so rude? We only just met. It was so funny, dude. I love. Oh my god.
I think my favorite. I forgot what C-3PO said once they landed in the planet, but everyone was just like it was. So
and then he turned around, right?
He said something about like, is this what life is always like with y'all, or something like that? If this is like a common occurrence, some shit like that.
Wait, when they first land on the desert planet, he's like,
He's
telling them like this festival is only one every 43 years, and they're like, oh, how lucky. He's like, yeah, and they all look at him. He's like, he just turns around. This is so good, dude.
That part was so fucking good. I was dying, dude.
Or when they all race to the speeder and they leave C-3PO behind and he catches up. Oh, I'm here, guys. Don't worry. That was so good, dude. The humor in this movie works. Not like The Last Jedi. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably J.J. Abrams, but it was funny. Like, I don't know. It's really good.
There's also a point of, after they get the dagger and they get to that planet, it's like what were the odds that the Millennium Falcon crashed in just the right spot for them to hold up the dagger in just the right angle to be able to find the spot?
Yeah, I guess that might be.
That's getting a little nitpicky, but it's like there's just so many kind of convenient
that
things
might be
in the
the
movie
only.
that I'm like, yeah.
That might be like the only dumbest thing for me in the movie, but I don't mind it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't have much.
It's like, how did she even know to?
She's force sensitive.
I like.
I think if it had like a more definitive shape or something,
yeah,
that was more recognizable rather than like wedges,
yeah,
jagged lines.
I do kind of appreciate the fact that she just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought there was going to be a whole other scene of like just kind of dialogue of them like on that planet.
Well,
then it's like Rey was just like, nope, I'm going for it.
The movie
Full
needed
send.
that though. There's like no breaks. Like
that's what I was thinking.
The whole movie is like
just action,
plot, action, plot. The whole time, my friend, he was like, I couldn't go to the restroom during that movie.
You really can't.
You really can't. He said he only went to the restroom whenever Babu Frick was introduced because he thought he thought nothing was gonna happen during that scene.
Oh.
He thought it was gonna take really long for them to erase
his memory.
I really kind of wanted Maz to be a more prominent part of back in 8 and also this one. Because like in 7, she kind of was. She wasn't a big deal, but she was pretty important to episode 7.
Yeah.
Like,
she had the lightsaber.
They like the fucking First Order attack at her place. There's a whole First Order attack at her fucking cantina, whatever. I think it would have been nice if she'd been a little bit more a part of it. Like in 8, she only pops up in a hologram when she's in the middle of a battle. It's like it was kind of random, and then in 9, she's kind of there, but not really.
Yeah.
I thought she looked weird in the 9th movie.
I thought some of the animation in episode 9 wasn't great.
Yeah.
I feel like some of it was kind of off.
It might have been.
Something about it was weird, especially Moss. That's who I noticed.
Might be a mix of like practical and CG.
Maybe. But she did look kind of weird when she.
Yeah, she didn't look as like a Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. I was like.
I mean, it didn't bother me either, but I was just like, she looks kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
One scene that really made me happy was when Chewie got the medal.
Oh yeah.
At the end. Do you know like why?
Yeah,
well, yeah, I know why.
Yeah. I was like, Chewie. I thought she should like kiss me or something because you know how she had a crush on Chewie in Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
I was like, what?
Where's my boyfriend?
Yeah, that never went anywhere either. Again,
I thought that's what she was gonna do or something.
This little alien thing has the hots for this giant, hairy fucking monster.
I'm sure it was just a joke, but it was funny.
Where's my boyfriend?
Okay, so they get the Sith dagger. Then they go to that other planet. I forget the name of it.
Exegol?
No. Exegol's the Sith planet. Mm-hmm. The planet where they meet Babu Frick.
Oh, I don't know.
I remember what you're talking about.
Where they introduced that character. I forgot her name.
The mama? I don't know.
The one with the maroon girl?
Yeah. The one who is like Poe's kind of love interest, but also not really.
Yeah.
She has the coin. Also, that was another thing. Why is there a fucking coin?
Oh, I didn't get that either.
It's like how convenient is it that it's a fucking Chuck E. Cheese tokens you can fucking take to get in. It's like one free admission to any fucking Empire ship, whatever.
They didn't go anywhere with that, right?
They used it to get into the
Kylo Ren ship.
Kylo Ren ship.
That's how, because they put it in their ship, and that's how they get in. When they and then they have the whole confrontation, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how they get into it.
I thought it was okay. I was like, oh, okay. How else are they gonna get in?
Well, how else did they get in? They got captured, right? That's why they were in the ship.
Yeah.
Well, and then in 7, in 8 they just sneaked in, right?
Yeah, because remember the only way they can get in was to decrypt it.
Yeah.
Decrypt getting in there, whatever, like the codes. Because Finn was like, they decrypt the codes, or they change the codes every like hour or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to go to Canto Bight and find that
every 6 cycles.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we get introduced to Babu Freak. Freaking awesome. When he showed up at the end, dude. When all the stuff, dude. I'm sorry. That shit made me so happy. Everyone was laughing.
Everyone loves him, dude. Babu
so
Frick.
cute.
That's how you do a cute
character.
I don't know. He's
not like Jar Jar.
He's not even Babu Frick. Isn't even cute. It's just it's so weird. It's so strange.
So then they get into the Star Destroyer, and this is where stuff, I guess, it was already going fast, and it's going faster now. This is where Kylo Ren tells Rey, "You're a Palpatine." And throughout this movie, there's like 2 moments where I always thought there was a chance that Rey might turn. Like when Kylo Ren gives her hand when she's about to jump, and she kind of like, she nods like, "I'll take your hand." But then the Millennium Falcon comes and saves her. And same thing at the end when Palpatine's like, "Take your throne or your friends all die," and she's like, "Okay." But then she sees Kylo Ren, and so you know what I mean. I've always liked that. Still, I've always liked that Rey has the possibility of turning to the dark side.
Yeah. I mean, I knew she wasn't going to.
But yeah.
But I like that they still
played with the idea.
Teased it. It's like, is it gonna happen?
Yeah. And then.
But we know it's not.
Yeah. And then we have, I think, one of my favorite lightsaber battles when they're on the. Wait. Before we get there, when Rey sees her dark self, that lightsaber that she's holding.
Oh.
I wish that would have been like a real thing.
Well, because it collapses the two to hold her lightsaber.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I was like,
it was almost like a Darth Maul kind of lightsaber.
Yeah. But it folds and shit.
Yeah.
Also, you notice that in that scene, right before it happens, they play Darth Vader's theme.
Yeah.
But they play it with the instrumentation of her theme.
I didn't realize instrumentation, but I did notice that it was his theme.
I got
chills.
chills.
That was a slow version of his theme or whatever.
I was like, my jaw was like, they just fucking did that. I'm pretty sure it's the same instrumentation as her theme, but
it is, but just I think different key or something.
I don't know, but they played Darth Vader's theme with her instruments.
I got goosebumps.
And I was like, what's about to happen? I don't know.
And so yeah, she has a small little fight battle with her evil self, and that's when Kylo Ren comes.
Oh, the thing I didn't like about her dark self was the teeth thing.
Oh,
it just looked ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, no one else has that. Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be Palpatine or something.
No, it was her. It was cool. Again, teasing more of the idea of Rey being to the dark side. Okay, so then she meets, or Kylo Ren finds her, and then they have a battle. I thought it was one of the coolest lightsaber battles. Not only because the environment had to play, but it was so visually pleasing.
Oh yeah.
Like the water, and remember when Kylo Ren stops her lightsaber and is doing like the lightsaber is kind of disoriented because he's force pushing it. You remember that scene? Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Kylo Ren stops her lightsaber, and the way the force is pushing against the lightsaber creates this cool noise and effect on the lightsaber.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
It was really like everything about that scene was just so.
I like the scene because that's like the first time we see force jumping. In the sequels, they fucking just fly off and like.
And then Kylo Ren goes to the water all badass. What's up, bitch? It's so good, dude. So I freaking love that scene.
I thought it was kind of dumb. I get the point of Kylo Ren throwing his lightsaber. I feel that like after he threw it, my immediate thought was like, I feel like he could have used that. Like I get the significance, but you could have used that. Can you bring that back?
I guess in real life.
Can you just force bring that back?
Wait,
Wait, but it's like throw it and like okay, but I kind of need that.
I feel like that lightsaber it's the lightsaber he used to kill his dad, and he just confronted his dad about turning to the light side. So to me, it was like, okay, get that shit.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I get it, but also like Again, then what the fuck was your plan? Just go show up with the ship and start blasting? You already know what the fucking planet looks like. What are you gonna do?
Didn't he start fist fighting people?
He tried to. Yeah, he was like surrounded by the Knights of Ren.
He like force pushed them first, and then he just got his ass handed to them.
Yeah. It wasn't until fucking they sensed each other and she passed off the lightsaber.
Yeah. Why did she bring 2 lightsabers?
She already had them.
She already had them?
Because remember, she's on the planet with Luke. Mm-hmm. He gives him his lightsaber and Leia's.
Oh yeah.
And immediately from there, she goes to Exegol. So she already has them. But yeah, like that fight scene, dude. I would just go watch the movie again just for that fight scene. I freaking love it, dude. The whole like the force jump. And what I like about this movie is that a lot of people complain in the first movies. Kylo Ren's actually winning. He was gonna kill her. I like that.
And he got distracted
by her mother, which was and then by Leia.
Her mother.
What did I say?
He said her mother, but
his mother. Yeah,
I knew what he meant.
Yeah.
He knew what he meant.
Yeah. I was confused,
dude. That was like we knew Kylo Ren was strong in the Force, but this one showed it. Every fight scene that they have, he's just blocking. Like he's not even trying. Mm-hmm. You know, like, he's just like blocking it.
Because her emotions are conflicting her so much, she can't focus to fight right.
That's she's so angry. She's letting anger fight for her, and then she gets worn out, and then he's gonna kill her, and then he hears Ben.
Yeah, that's what she says, right?
Yeah, and then Rey showing her dark side tendencies just kills him. Just not even thinking like, why did he drop the lightsaber? Just stabs him like, holy shit.
I did think the whole healing thing was kind of like, I was like, okay, the whole giving your life force. I'm like,
I didn't mind it. I was like,
it's a little odd.
It's kind of cool.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. I'm just like, again, it's kind of just a convenient thing.
Yeah.
I know they had to bring something in, so like I get it, but also,
I don't know. I just love that scene so much. I love it. And then after that, we see him. She goes to the planet that Luke's on to do the exact same thing he did because she thinks that she failed. And I think that scene was really cool. It was really like Luke and Yoda on Dagobah. Very reminiscent of that. So I thought it was cool.
You were gonna say something about the scene with Luke and Leia training when they were younger, but you said you were gonna save it.
Oh yeah, you were saying something about it.
I don't remember. I really don't remember what I was gonna say.
Dang.
Sorry. But yeah, I think they fixed the Luke character in this one.
This is something you should respect.
Yeah, this is what Luke would do. This is how Luke would act.
Show some respect.
And then he pulls out the Y-wing, X-wing, and then they go to Exegol. Anything before that you guys want to talk about? All I know is I love the movie. There's not one part I hate. And just so, if anything you want to say.
No, and like I said, the ending sequence, I think the ending sequence is good. I really kind of thought like, I thought Rey was gonna like kill Palpatine and take over, and then like Kylo would show up and like save her or whatever, like something like that. They'd have a fight, and then he'd end up taking it and like dying from that or something like that. I didn't even realize for some reason that he was gonna have to die. For some reason, that never crossed my mind. Because for a while, I was like, wait, they're gonna team up, but then what? He's killed all these people, and then it wasn't until he was dying I was like, oh shit, he has to die.
Yeah, he's dead. The end of the Skywalker saga.
No, sorry. That is one final thing I wanted to talk about is the end, like the ending. I like that they didn't like. I like that I know that they've said again, end of the Skywalker saga. And that John Boyega and Daisy Ridley and whoever the guy who plays Poe, I can't think of his name.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
Oscar Isaac. That they said they didn't want to do anymore. Well, I know Daisy Ridley said she didn't do anymore. I don't know how clear. I mean, John Boyega's tweets.
He clearly doesn't.
He's gonna get a job anymore.
I don't want to, bro.
But again, the fact that they left all three of them alive, I liked that because that leaves the door open for bringing them back. Maybe not in the next trilogy, but in episode fucking
50.
Yeah, when they do episode fucking 13, 14, and 15, whatever.
Oh wait, but they're not doing trilogies anymore, right?
Well, Rian Johnson has his own trilogy.
And then after that, they're not doing trilogies.
As far as I know, the only things confirmed are the Kenobi series and Rian Johnson's trilogy. After that, I'm not too sure.
Because I heard they're thinking about not doing trilogies anymore.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I hadn't heard that.
You have?
I hadn't heard that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere.
what else are you gonna do? Two movies is not enough. I think trilogies are perfect. You have one movie setting up the universe, one where the heroes lose and conflict, and the last movie it all comes together, overarching. Yeah. If you just have two or one, it's like
that's what The Last Jedi could have been, where they lose.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, the ending's good. I like leaving the door open, and like her picking up the Skywalker surname. I'm like, yeah, yes. My phone's silenced, but it won't
what if
silent.
what if she's like, I'm Rey Palpatine, and that girl just gets a gun and shoots her?
Wait, we don't like that name around these parts.
Girl.
I saw something that was like, you know, that all that happens, or is that some like selling all that as a hallucination. That really kind of threw me off. It wasn't even really a theory. It was just kind of like more like a joke theory. But you know, remember in episode 7 when she's there cleaning across from that lady, and the old lady in episode 7 when she's like cleaning whatever after she found the scrap parts. Mm-hmm. It's like, and then she fantasizes about going on this big adventure or whatever.
Oh, and then she steps back. See what you mean.
Oh my god!
What if they did that, dude?
I would hate Star Wars.
I would not like that.
I would be like, this is stupid, man.
But also like they gave that idea. I was like, yo, what the fuck if they did that? That would have. The
end
hurt.
of episode 9, she's like, eh.
And then it comes back to the alien like, hey,
what the fuck you doing? Keep cleaning.
That would have fucked me up.
That would have pissed me off.
Dude, I would have left.
I would have been left.
You wouldn't have got to see it 4 times.
Absolutely not. I would. If I did, I would leave. So anyways, they get on Exegol. Kylo Ren Rey confronts Palpatine. Then they have this whole like, you're my granddaughter. You know, Palpatine was like fucking sassy. You know how first Rey stood up to her? She's like, my parents are strong. She protected me from you. And then he was like, the only family Luke had was Vader. The only family you have is me. And I was like, bro, she has a point, or he has a point. You gotta turn now. If I was Rey, fuck it.
Oh yeah, because he was like, Luke had Vader to save him. You only have me, and I'm like, he wasn't gonna save her. Whatever. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, man. And then
when hold on. Never mind, I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The fucking kiss.
Oh, the kiss.
No. It's gonna be a hard no. Like when they were laying there looking at each other, I was like, please don't.
Please no.
I was like, I know what's about to happen, but I really hope it doesn't. And then it did, and I was like,
I don't care too much about it. I was like, okay. Could have gone either way.
I thought there was no hints towards
there was
them
absolutely
being
no hints.
Like a romantic relationship.
Like I said earlier, I thought it was just because they've always been strong with the Force together, and they
just force pulled themselves towards each other.
They force kiss.
They've been through this.
It wasn't an emotional kiss; it was a force kiss.
Yeah, see, it wasn't real.
And he did
just like how Leia force pulled herself back into the fucking ship.
See, that one's real though.
So dumb.
Oh my god.
I mean, y'all hated it. I thought it was okay.
I did absolutely.
Me and Gerardo loved it.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Really?
He got real happy. I was like,
what the fuck? I did not like the kiss.
Not at all.
Like
there's
at all.
like again when the whole thing like fucking John Boyega's point when they them fighting over all 3 movies. And then they kissed at the end.
Well, remember when you were in kindergarten and you had a crush, so you would be beat to her?
You beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, the same thing, but on a grander scale.
So they're kindergarten?
Essentially.
That's dumb.
No, but before that, I really like the scene where they team up with each other.
Oh, yeah.
I also like the scene where Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, I guess, kills the Knights of Ren. He's fucking badass. Mm-hmm. And then the scene where Rey, she just shits on Emperor's guards again. You remember that?
No.
Because remember when she goes like this and the lightsaber's gone? Palpatine backs away and the guards start attacking her.
Oh, yeah.
And she gets Leia's lightsaber and she's like killing all of them. That was really badass. But I really love the moment where both of them held the lightsabers with each other, right next to each other, standing up to Palpatine. I was like, I got goosebumps. When I watched it so many times, but I thought it was so good. And then Palpatine's like, yeah, yeet.
So OP, dude.
Oh, Palpatine?
Yeah.
Have you noticed every time Palpatine like dies or something, it's because of his own Force lightning?
Damn.
Yeah, it is.
He's the only one strong enough to kill himself.
Return of the Jedi in this one.
I'm too weak. Help me.
Help me, Anakin. Let's see. You're telling me this man's the greatest Sith ever? Unlimited power. I'm weak. This
Was that
romance?
just like a
Bro, he just heard
sight?
He just heard a funny joke, bro. He's weak.
It's so dumb. I'm weak.
Bro, you need to make that a fucking meme.
I'm too
That needs to be... That needs to be a fucking meme, dude. Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm
God.
weak.
The way you said it.
Oh my god, dude. That's gotta become a fucking meme. Like today.
Oh my
Go
God.
home and make it.
Oh,
That's a fucking $1 million idea right there, dude. Put the laughing emojis and deep fry it.
Oh my God.
with the red eyes coming out of Palpatine. I'm too weak.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's too good. Oh, let's go Palpatine, bro. Oh my God. Whew.
I'm weak, bro.
Okay, so I want to talk about this part. When they're losing. When Palpatine has that cool lightning, it has like base boosted.
Oh my god.
And then Rey looks up and she's like, "Be with me," and you hear all the voices of the Jedi.
Yes.
I thought it was cool.
I like that part, and I was really happy when I heard Anakin's voice. I was like, what? They redeemed him.
I got goosebumps when Anakin, because it's his story, really.
Yeah.
It's the Skywalker saga. So I got really happy when I think he spoke 2 lines, and he said like, "Bring balance," like I once did, or something like that.
Yo, yeah.
I was like, yo, Ray, if you don't do it for my man, I hate you, or something, you know? And
I was also happy when I heard Mace Windu. I was like,
Mace
yeah.
Windu.
You know, I was like-
you heard Qui-Gon Jinn too?
Yeah.
I think
there?
so. Yeah. I wasn't sure, but I did see him in the credits.
Yeah, it was him, and then both Kenobis.
Yeah.
The old one.
Old one, yeah.
And,
Old man Kenobi.
no, hold on, I know his name.
Ben Kenobi.
Isn't it Sir?
No, it's
I don't know the name.
like the actor.
Yeah. Sir.
Isn't like Alistair or something? I'm just like on the tip of my tongue. I feel bad for
I
him.
know it. I know it. Oh my god. Keep talking. Let me think about it.
Okay, but that was such a cool scene for Rey to use all the previous Jedi to get herself up to defeat the Emperor, and then it has the I am inevitable, I am Iron Man moment. I am all the Sith. I am all the Jedi. That was really cool. And then we thought she was gonna die.
Alec Guinness.
There you go, Alec Guinness. And then I thought she was gonna die, and I was like, "There's no way they do this, right?"
I thought it was gonna be cool if they did it.
I would have been okay with it because if Ben Solo survived, it's a Skywalker saga, right?
Mhm.
So it would have been okay. But I was just sad seeing Rey die. I was like, no, I love her. Rey, please.
You're too hot to die.
Yeah, please. Just say JK.
No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy.
Oh my god.
Please. And then she ends up being revived, and then Ben dies, which I was okay with too. Of like, it fits in. All the Skywalkers are gone.
So he's redeemed now, right?
Yeah, because he's a Force ghost, so yeah, he's redeemed. One thing I would change about the movie. This is me though. At the end, we know when Rey turns and sees Luke and Leia. I would have loved to see Anakin and Ben.
Oh yeah, I would have liked to see that.
I
too.
would have loved to see all of them because that's their family. It's grandfather, father, and then the son, right? So it would have been all come together. But I don't know why.
I really thought they were gonna do that.
Apparently, this goes back to what we were talking about. They had a lot of reshoots and they deleted a lot of scenes. There was actually a scene with Anakin in it, but they cut it out.
Damn.
Which is like, why would you do that? Anakin started this whole thing. Like, why? He's the most important character in this trilogy, you know. So that's the only thing I would change, is to show all of them together. Or even like when Rey was like, "Be with me," we see all the Force ghosts, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and all that. But that's okay. Like the voices really is I'm okay with. But the last part was like, again, I'm okay with Luke and Leia like nodding, like, you go, girl, you one of us. But I would love to see Anakin and Ben, because we never saw Ben with his family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just with his father killing him, and then the scene in Last Jedi where he couldn't kill his mother, but the other TIE fighters did.
Bro.
So it would have been a really nice moment, but that's the only thing I would change. It was really, I think it ended on a really good note, going to Tatooine, putting the lightsabers away.
And then the double sunset. Oh, that was so good.
So overall, rank the 3 movies, best to worst, favorite to least favorite?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Seven's my favorite. Then 9, then 8.
Okay.
I agree with that.
But Rogue One is better than all 3 of them. Get that out there.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go with Rise of Skywalker as my favorite, just because it's recent and to me there's just all around fun, a lot of chaos, a lot of good humor, and then Force Awakens. But I think they're neck to neck. They could be interchanged over time. Last Jedi,
Head can.
fucking all the way down, all the way down.
You're with the prequels, brother.
Yeah, it would go. Phantom Menace.
Didn't we do a ranking? Did we talk about it on Twitter? I did it with someone because I typed it out.
Well, the only thing I know is that I said The Last Jedi isn't bad at all, and you said that you would rank it like your top 3 or 4 Star Wars movies.
The Last Jedi?
No, not The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it would go worst Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Last Jedi. That's one of my least.
Wait, Phantom Menace is your worst?
I hate that movie.
I can read you my ranking right now, including Rogue One.
All right,
I have Rogue One.
Starting from worst to best.
Starting from the best. I have the best as Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And then Return of the Jedi, then Rogue One, then Revenge of the Sith, then New Hope, Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Phantom, Last Jedi, and Attack of the Clones is my worst.
Yeah.
Because Attack of the Clones is just...
You would really rank Last Jedi below the 2 prequels? Yes. I think the one thing that helps it is the visuals.
It's not a boring movie, I don't think.
Yeah. It's good looking, really good looking. That's why I put him above the 2.
Phantom Menace is not... I don't think Phantom Menace is that bad. Phantom Menace is bad. All the prequels are bad. Phantom Menace, I don't think is as, it's got an R. Sorry, I like Qui-Gon Jinn and fucking Darth Maul. Like, they're really badass.
Yeah, the fight scene at the end with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But this is a whole different discussion. Prequels, I don't hate them, but go ahead.
Can we talk about how Chewie saw all his friends die throughout the sequels?
Dude,
Damn, I didn't realize that.
He saw Han Solo die. He knows Luke died, and he had to hear the news that.
Dude, when he reacted that way, I got sad. I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "This is it." You know what I really hated about that Last Jedi though? Luke didn't really feel sympathy for Han dying. He was just Han's gone, and that's it. Like they didn't freaking destroy the Empire together and stuff. He didn't train his son.
It's because they were fighting for the girl.
For Leia.
See, bro, I'm telling you, this movie's full of incest, bro.
This whole saga.
That's why she picked up. This whole movie series is full of incest, bro. Just like,
oh my god,
that's why Rey picked up Skywalker, so she could be like, I kissed my cousin.
Oh, I kissed my cousin.
I'm a Tatooine.
Also, I had one question about Rise of Skywalker. I just don't remember what voices did Palpatine put into Kylo's head. He put Snoke,
and
Darth Vader.
Yeah, because they had James Earl Jones record a new line. I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
And just Palpatine.
And Palpatine?
It was just those two.
Yeah.
It was just those two.
Yeah.
Those are the only voices in his head.
I thought I heard Han Solo too.
But it might be just his inner self. I don't think that was. I don't think Palpatine would do that because everything surrounding Han Solo is him going to the light side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, again, those two movies are like neck and neck, dude. Like I just love both of them. So I did read. I was watching, Angry Joe.
Yeah.
So I usually agree with a lot of the things he says because he's really open minded and he really likes to critiquing movies. And so he did like a top 40 plot holes of Rise of Skywalker.
I saw part of that video. I saw part of that video and I saw part of the other video he did. The 2-hour video.
Yeah.
It's longer than the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's called Everything Wrong with the Rise of Skywalker. And it's longer than the movie itself.
Imagine hating the movie that much.
Yeah.
It's like I get having an issue with the movie, but like...
I could not watch that video. One of the plot holes he had was the Sith dagger.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a plot hole. How's that
a plot hole? It's just kind of a convenient thing. Like, there's a difference between a plot hole and just doing something that's convenient.
We don't need to know the backstory for everything. Single thing.
Like, how did this grain of sand get here?
Plot hole.
Who built this shit?
I stopped watching after 5. I could not. Some of the stuff he said was like stupid. Like, how is that a plot hole? That's not a plot hole. That's just, it just happens. But yeah, anyways, were you going to say something real quick?
Everyone was attacking Angry Joe for those videos.
He hated that movie so much. He hated Last Jedi, which was respectable. But this movie, I don't think it deserves that much hate.
Yeah.
Wait, it's like I don't hate Last Jedi. I just don't really like it. It's like it's an alright movie. There are people who are like actually like hate it, despise it. I'm like, I'm not gonna give you that.
It's a good movie. It's not the perfect Star Wars movie.
Like I said, it's alright. It's not. I obviously don't choose to rewatch it, so that should say enough about it.
But yeah, I can't watch it. He's hating on it so much. Sit daggers, that's a plot hole. How did it get there? But yeah, so that's the sequel trilogy. I'd say overall, mixed feelings or good.
Overall good.
Yeah, overall good.
Overall good. You know,
I'm upset about the fact that there was no planning.
Yeah,
because that's like the biggest thing that they struggled with in the Rise of Skywalker. They were choosing what to retcon from The Last Jedi. There was like a constant battle between, are we going to retcon this or are we going to keep this?
Yeah.
Are we going to,
Well, like I said at the beginning, J.J. Abrams apparently had pretty much planned out the whole trilogy, but Rian Johnson came in the middle that was like, nah, he just threw it away. He was like, nah. So, but again, overall good. Don't know if I'm excited for the new trilogy.
I mean, I'll definitely say it's Star Wars. It's like
it's Star Wars, but I can't say I'm hyped for it. But we lived it through this decade. Whoa.
What?
Take it back, decade
episode.
Let's just splice this in the middle of the decade podcast.
We're talking about movies.
Yeah, dude, same amount of contribution from Andy in that as in here.
Yeah. All right. So
I think that's when he tweeted that he was sleepy.
Yeah. Either that or when I was talking about zombies. Which I really wanted to keep talking about, but I could tell he was like not having them. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
I have a lot of thoughts about that too. We'll talk about the zombie storyline one day.
We'll review it.
We should. Oh
dude,
my god.
fucking imagine. Dude, that's why we should play through the fucking Easter eggs, bro.
Yeah. These years would be fun.
All of them.
He knows all of them. I don't.
I don't.
But yeah, wrapping this up. This is our sequel trilogy, reviewing it, talking about it. Overall, again, we loved it. Okay, there you go. I
enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
It was a fun ride. But yeah.
I enjoyed the first and last movie. So, and then The Last Jedi.
Parts of the middle one.
Yeah. The end of the middle one, really. But yeah, that's our review of this sequel trilogy, Star Wars.
Yeah. We'll hopefully not see you in 3 months, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll be back in 3 months.